The Three Little Pigs. Several years ago, I attended one of your workshops at the Omega Institute. You asked us to exchange a personal item with a stranger, and I did so with the woman who sat in front of me. She gave me the necklace that she wore, and I gave her my ring. As we sat with our eyes closed, you guided us in a meditation and told us not to discount any images that appeared in our minds, no matter how nonsensical they appeared. The woman in front of me spoke first. I had been wearing my daughter-in-law's wedding band, and that was the ring I passed on to the stranger. My law's wedding band, and that was the ring I passed on to the stranger. My daughter-in-law had been murdered 3 years prior. She was 8 months pregnant at the time. The stranger accurately described her blonde hair and saw her standing in a red kitchen that overlooked a body of water as she watched a couple playing on the dock. She had a loving message for my son, her childhood sweetheart, who, along with his new wife, had just purchased a lake house that had a red kitchen. To say I was flabbergasted is too mild an expression. And, needless to say, after receiving such a vivid vision from a stranger, I was embarrassed to tell her what I had seen. Apologetically, I confessed to her that the only image flashing through my mind was that of the three little pigs tap dancing across my field of vision. I tried to banish them, but every time I did they danced right across my brain, refusing to be dismissed. As if that weren't bad enough, they were performing their dance right next to a swimming pool. My stranger started to cry. She had handed me a locket containing a lock of hair from her father, who had recently passed away. She had spent many hours at his house over the years, hanging out by the pool that he loved. Unbelievably, in his garden by the pool, he had a statue of the three little pigs in a dance pose, wearing top hats and canes. Both she and I were in shock. Had you not told us to share any image, no matter how strange, I would never have confessed the silly pigs. We both agreed, this could not be coincidence but true communication. Although we did not understand it, we could not help but believe. Jacqueline. The exact confirming details of the scenes and images shared by Jacqueline and her partner, a complete stranger to her, stagger the mind. How could the information that was received from the other, perhaps aided by the held object, be so clear and so accurate? It defies logic, and yet I have witnessed similar results 1,000 times. We are capable of using channels far beyond the usual 5 senses. We are designed to connect with each other at levels much deeper and more detailed than we can begin to imagine. Even their choice of a partner was not really coincidental. This is all part of the process that impels us along our spiritual paths. Every one of us can connect to and be comforted by loving presences from the other side, the heavenly dimensions. A stranger describes Jacqueline's murdered daughter-in-law, standing there in a lake house that she had not known when she was alive. Her daughter-in-law is not vengeful, not tortured, not even jealous. She has loving messages for the childhood friend whom she had later married. She seems to be around Jacqueline, letting her know that she is fine and that she is transmitting love. In more than 23 years of conducting this psychometry exercise, I have had no one other than Jacqueline mention seeing the three little pigs from the famous fairy tale. She described them to her partner, who perhaps needed to hear this more than any other person on the planet. Her father had placed a statue of the three little pigs in his garden by the pool. Who else has ever done this? And he had just recently died. What better message to convey through a complete stranger to his grieving daughter? We never lose our loved ones. They are always with us, always around us. They are not in physical bodies, and we miss them terribly, but they are still here, hugging us with arms of loving energy. Shirley's husband let her know that he was around her by sending her not only messages but also extraordinary gifts from the other side. Her story follows. Flower arrangement. There were so many extraordinary experiences for me on the cruises that I attended with psychiatrist Dr. Brian Weiss in a well-known medium, but perhaps the most unusual was the time that I received flowers from the other side. We were in Tahiti. It was the first week of October in 1999, and the seminars were coming to a close. In the afternoon seminar with Dr. Weiss, we were invited to choose a partner, someone whom we had not met, and temporarily exchange a personal item. Although little happened to me, my partner became excited and began to describe my husband, who was recently deceased. She became quite articulate in describing an unusual tweed coat for which he was celebrated in Northern Ontario. This was a first for me, and the realization put me into shock, so I begged her not to call attention to us. This was a mistake, as such events are most interesting to everyone. The next day, the last in Bora Bora, I took a small boat to seek a flower for my hair. There were few shops on the island, but I saw a lovely hibiscus flower in a window and attempted to buy it. The elderly salesperson spoke neither English nor French, yet she began to fill the openings in a large straw hat with flowers of a similar pink color. I tried to stop her, insisting on one hat with flowers of a similar pink color. I tried to stop her, insisting on one flower only, but I was ignored. A younger Polynesian woman entered, and I explained the difficulty. She replied, "It is you who are mistaken. This hat is a gift." The last boat was about to leave, and I could but give them each a hug and run toward it. Others told me afterward that the hat looked illuminated. The last seminar was about to begin. In a meditative mood, I quickly became alert when the medium called my name and said that a man in top hat and tails wanted to dance with me. I knew that it had to be my husband. When first married, we would dance to records in the library. He went on with messages of gratitude for answering all the meaningful letters of bereavement and commented on the way that I'd reframed his picture and on its new setting. All was true. Then he said that I loved flowers and that he was sending me some, with love. Someone in the group said, "And there they are, beside you, on your hat. They're magnificent." How on earth, or maybe it wasn't on earth, did the Polynesian woman get the message? 1 week later, I was invited with a small group of ladies to attend a party at Neiman Marcus to introduce a new line of crystal. We were each given a brick of clay with utensils to free an enclosed gift in crystal. My gift was a small, pink, crystal hibiscus bloom. Shirley's late husband was persistent in letting her know of his gratitude and his love. His tweed coat preceded several gifts of flowers, both real and crystal. The real ones appeared to be illuminated. Love can do that. Spiritual messages can transcend the usual senses and be received in many ways. They do not require words or language. The older Polynesian woman spoke neither English nor French, yet she perceived the impulse and transformed it into the flowery gift. This might be normal in Bora Bora, but it seems like a small miracle to us. As the author of the next story reminds us, any soulmate, this is a part of Zindagi Ki Roshni consultancy. It has been established for those who have lost someone and for those who are very sad in their life. About 100 PDF books and 20 short audio books of this topic will be sent to those who join it. This data will be sent to their email or WhatsApp. If you want to join this organization, then please send WhatsApp message to this number.